This is a voice slate for dive Hotel 2102 at 21:28:00 mark.
Hey Sarah, where's the ground fault?
Let's take a look.
Turn off first. What's the last thing you last word?
I'm going butt cam.
What's that?
I'm going butt cam.
Had to.
Just cycle the last couple cameras and then go to some of the lights that we added.
All stations. We're going to pause here at 50 meters to troubleshoot the famous ground fault on our DC system.
All right, nothing
Video,
yet.
you might see some of the cameras go on and off as we cycle through. And science, some of the devices might go offline.
Let's try the starboard rail. See if that does anything. Give it long enough. All right, now I'm going port rail. Okay. All right. Are Are you okay if I shut off the HD cam real quick? Oh, you just, something.
Yeah, video's okay.
Everything just, I didn't actually touch anything then. I don't know what's just happened. All of the cameras just went off. Yep.
Herc cam is back.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. We don't have any lights on yet. We can shut off. I was gonna do HD cam, but I didn't actually hit the button yet.
It went off.
All of them went off.
Yeah, and then came back on again.
Yeah.
Huh, lucky.
So let me, this is going, fluctuating.
I'm going to turn them all off, Dave.
Yeah, copy.
Historically, it's a bubble thing.
All right, it's jumping back and clearing. Yeah. I haven't seen this one yet. Do you want me to? Is it not letting you? There we go. That pops back up. All right, so. Yeah, we have our delta at -10 right now. And DC ground fault's back.
All right, morning everybody, and hi to everybody tuned in on Nautilus Live. We're just getting started on this dive. I'm really happy to have you along with us. All right, as we get settled in, if folks want to join me on SPL when they're able. As y'all are ready, we'd love to have you join me on SPL. Data logger is here. Hi, Leela. Front row is still working on a few things on their descent. Got our science team sorting in first dive of the this expedition. Always an exciting time. We'll get everybody up here on headsets and dive in a little bit to the specifics of this plan. This dive is anticipated. We're going to we have a variety of targets in this region, so planning to keep the ROVs on the seafloor. as long as we possibly can and be able to link together a few different sites. One of the unique things about Iron Bottom Sound is how dense this place is with maritime heritage, and we're really honored by the opportunity to be here and be part of revealing this story. We'll be descending to about 1,000 meters, and we're well over a third of the way there, already at 300.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. Just as we're descending, just to provide a little bit of a context. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first expedition of our NA-173 expedition to the Solomon Islands. We'll be spending the next 2.5 weeks exploring maritime heritage here in the Iron Bottom Sound of the islands of Guadalcanal. Today we are a few miles northeast of Savo Island and are descending on the wreck site of a very historically significant wreck, a heavy cruiser that was sunk in August of 1942, so 83 years ago during the first Battle of Savo Island. A very intense battle that pursued on the early morning of August 8th to 9th, 1942. Saw about a little under an hour of very heavy fire. So USS Vincennes along with USS Astoria and USS Quincy were patrolling this area when they came across several Japanese ships, and within about an hour later, USS Vincennes sunk to the depth here, about 1,000 meters, taking with her about 300 of her crew. This site was first mapped 10 years ago by the Vulcan Inc. expedition aboard the yacht Octopus that included a mapping survey with an AUV equipped with side scan sonar that produced a very nice map of this wreck, and they also were able to do an ROV dive with their 3,000 meter rated system that did some imaging, but it's a very large wreck. This wreck is 175 meters in length and close to 20 meters in width, and many parts of this wreck have not yet been imaged in detail. There's many questions about how this wreck exactly sunk still remain. We know that it suffered one big torpedo hit. It's been debated for a very long time that there's likely a second torpedo hit, but that has never been confirmed. And so the plan of today's dive is to continue descending here. Then as we reach and approach the wreck, the pilots will start doing their safety checks and check all of the equipment. And once that is completed, we'll proceed. And the first order of operations will be to complete a So first order of operations will be to conduct a complete mapping survey. So ROV Hercules for this mission is equipped with a ultra high resolution multi-beam sonar, a NORBIT wideband sonar, and will be driving the ROVs horizontally at a depth of, at an altitude about 50 meters above the wreck and mapping it acoustically. That should take about a little over an hour to map this very large target. And once that is complete and we have a complete map of the site, we'll start slowly approaching it and starting our video survey. The plan is to hopefully conduct a complete circumnavigation of this large wreck, focusing on areas around the stern bow, the tower, bridge, other places. And that should take us a long time to complete. We'll be doing some periodic zoom in, some dramatic features. And as Megan alluded to, if everything goes well and we do not have any need to recover the vehicles, there are many other wrecks. So within this vicinity, there are, within 10 miles of here, there's only about 20 other large wrecks. And so the plan is to then start transitioning from one over to the other and repeating the same type of survey. First mapping each wreck with our mapping sonars, then visually inspecting it in detail, and then doing some close-up imagery. So thank you so much for joining us. A lot more exploration to come.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Some questions coming in about who is here in the control van. If you go ahead and refresh your Nautilus Live view, or if you're watching over on YouTube, come on over to nautiluslive.org, and you can see the watch schedule and with individual bios of everyone who's here in the room. Those will refresh every 4 hours. I don't have you. As we're approaching the seafloor, maybe we can get a round of intros started. Leela, do you want to kick us off for the back row?
Okay. Just an update for the back row. If you're, am I on the line here, as my dad says?
You are. I gotcha.
On the line. Just an update for the back row. We are mostly all green up here. We have one pesky little ground fault, but it's not a showstopper. And we're headed down into the unknown. I'm going to turn it over to Chris here and go down and crawl around in the winch room.
Right.
Thank you, Dan. Some great questions coming in. We'll get a round of intros here as we settle this group in on the watch here on our first dive of this expedition. super thrilled to have you with us as we're exploring the site of the USS Vincennes, as well as the rest of our exploration over the next 3 weeks ahead here in Iron Bottom Sound. There are many sites. This is the site of 5 major naval battles in 1942 and a major turning point. Daniel, as our front row works on getting situated for the dive, do you want to speak? Daniel, can you comment a little about how we selected our targets for this expedition and balancing, ships that are known here, and we know that there are some famous ones still yet to be located? Could you speak a little about that?
Sure. Thanks, Megan. So just a little bit of, before I get to that question, maybe a little bit of just historical context. So for those people who are not World War II enthusiasts or World War II buffs, the battles of Guadalcanal and the Solomon Islands was the center stage of several really important naval battles, and they really took center stage about 8 months after the Pearl Harbor attack in Hawaii started the war in the Pacific. So about 8 months after that attack on Pearl Harbor, Solomon Islands became a really important center stage between Japanese and Allied forces. And between August 1942 and December 1942, within those 5 months, there were 5 major naval battles that resulted in a lot of losses. And they all were taken in this very, very small geographic area between really 3 major islands in the Solomon Islands. So right off the capital of the Solomon Islands, Honiara, on the island of Guadalcanal, in this enclosed body of water between the islands of Guadalcanal, Savo Island, and the Nagala Islands. It's an area that's about 30 square miles. We have about 100 or so naval ships that were lost and about 1,500 planes. So that's very unusual to have that many ships and that many planes all concentrated in the same area. And a lot of those ships are actually quite shallow. Some of them are recreational scuba dive targets that people have dove on. But about 50 or so large ships are known to have been sunk in waters deeper than about 100 meters. So on this expedition, our technology is really focused on the deep waters of the Iron Bottom Sound. We'll be using a companion vehicle, uncrewed surface vehicle, DRIX, operated by the University of New Hampshire Center of Coast and Ocean Mapping. They have been setting up shop at a shore-based station in Honiara, and we'll be mapping the entire Iron Bottom Sound over the next 2.5 weeks. And then we'll be using our remotely operated vehicles on EV Nautilus to visually survey wrecks in the Iron Bottom Sound. And so among those 50 wrecks that are known to have been lost in this area, 21 of it have been found. And so we'll be going to be starting with those. In essence, what we started off here with is choosing some of the wrecks for which we have the best position data and that are also in a relatively sheltered location. So today's wreck, the USS Vincent, is in the most, if you can say, protected area, but it's basically we are in a wind shadow a little bit from the Nagala Island, so we chose this target because this is going to give us the best chance of having good weather conditions today, and we'll start on that. And then we have about 8 or so large targets that are actually all within 4 miles of each other. And so the plan is to basically, we charted a course where if everything goes well, here on EV Nautilus we have 24-hour operations That means that if everything goes well, we are staffed to continue diving around the clocks for days on end. So if we do not have, if weather doesn't pick up, if we do not have any mechanical issues or other things that warrant recovery of the vehicles, we could potentially stay down here for days on end. And so we basically picked a course that would go across several very historically significant wrecks. First, starting with those that are known, and those that are on the larger side, but also where we still have some scientific questions. For example, USS Vincennes, while it has been surveyed before, this was a relatively short dive, and some parts of the wreck have not yet been imaged. There's many questions still remain about how exactly it sunk. And so, yeah, the first week of this expedition will be focused on diving and further exploring and much better imaging some of the known wrecks. And that will give our DRIX colleagues from the University of New Hampshire some time to map the Iron Bottom Sound and hopefully locate additional wrecks. And so if everything goes according to plan, then starting about a week from now, we would transition from the known wrecks to the completely unknown wrecks. And there's about at least 21 that we think are in this area. And they range from several smaller patrol boats that are 20 meters in length to some oilers that are up to 140 meters. So this should be something for everyone.
Yeah, lots of interest coming in. The vast majority of these wrecks, as Daniel mentioned, are from the 1942 Solomon Islands campaign, the 5 different naval battles, all fought within the confined waters of Iron Bottom Sound, in addition to many more here across the Pacific Theater in deeper water and beyond. But this expedition will focus in the confined waters here. For the viewers tuning in and checking out the Channel 3, our combined view, you have the best options for lots of views around the ship and ROVs. We are diving ROVs Hercules and Atalanta right now. The label you see of Zeus is the name of our cameras that are on each ROV. So that is the Zeus camera feed being fed there into Channel 3. Currently at 750 meters and descending to target about 1,000 meters to USS Vincennes. And we'll begin our dive with a high altitude sonar survey over the wreck. That'll help us understand the landscape that's beneath us. Also get the orientation of the vessel on the seafloor.
And as we continue our descent here, I just want to take a moment to also start welcoming our very large team of scientists ashore that have signed up and registered for this expedition. So we have got close to 200 scientists that will be watching at different times and connected to us via chat room, some of which will also be coming in on audio periodically. So thank you so much for joining us. Some familiar faces that we're already seeing here on our science portal and some new faces as well. It's an absolute honor and privilege to work with this wonderful group of maritime archaeologists, historians, and also other disciplines, all interested in this incredibly unique place that is Iron Bottom Sound, a very sacred place. And it's important to just pause and reflect on the events that took place here. So over those 5 months between August and December 1942, during which the waters of Iron Bottom Sound saw about 188 minutes of very intense naval battles. Over 20,000 lives were lost, over 100 ships were sunk, and close to 1,500 planes were downed. It is an absolute honor to come here and with this global team of scientists, engineers, storytellers, be able to survey this sacred and unique place.
No doubt, Daniel. I think that's one of the most unique elements of this expedition is its ability to bring together people. These are captivating and awful stories of service and sacrifice by many nations clashing, and 8 decades later to be able to be here as allies and collaborators in science and engineering, to be able to honor these stories and understand these places, not only as they were 80 years ago in this conflict, but also as these sites are today, to understand how they are serving as artificial reefs and how they may be changing over time, understanding how that may impact the ecosystems and seafloor here. Really important work to carry forward that history and to do it together. Maybe back row, I'm wondering if we could get an intro going here as we settle in. Question that's come in a few times from our viewers, maybe this can be our introduction question, is how long have you been working in this field, and you know, what brought you to this expedition?
I can start off and use this as a way to test my mic, which has been
I've got you.
very annoying so far.
Mm-hmm.
I am Leela. I'm sitting in the data logger seat right now. I'm one of the science managers on this expedition, and I have been working for the Nautilus for 8 seasons now. I started out as an intern in 2018, and I've come back ever since.
Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Feely. I'm sitting here on the back row in the science seat. I'm working on a project for the Office of Naval Research, looking to test new technologies for photogrammetry and sensor fusion with our NORBIT high-resolution multi-beam echo sounder. It's a true honor to be here and experience this kind of culture and history for both America and Japan. Thanks, I'm happy to be with you guys.
Thanks, Jonathan. Daniel Wagner here. So yeah, it's an honor and privilege to be part here on the 8 to 12 it's an honor and privilege to be here on the 8 to 12 shift. So this is, I think, my 33rd deep sea expedition. So I've been had the privilege to do this. I think my first cruise was in early 2000s on much smaller vessels. I've had the privilege to now work for the Ocean Exploration Trust for the last 3.5 years. It's an absolutely wonderful organization. Really appreciate the opportunity to work in a very multidisciplinary work, really blending 3 pillars of the work that is critical. So 3 missions of our work that we do is to map and explore places where we do not have information, to use cutting-edge technologies to do that, and then to use the power of discovery and exploration to engage audiences of all ages.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Cook. I'm the Director of Education and Outreach for Ocean Exploration Trust, and I'm sitting in the communications seat on this expedition in this watch and others. I also joined OET initially through one of our education programs as a science communication fellow, and that was 13 seasons ago. Really proud to have sailed on this vessel and more, about 45 deep sea expeditions, and helped be part of 13 years of Nautilus expeditions. And this one is a real honor to be here. These stories are very worthy of care and worthy of remembering all that's represented here. And it's a really exciting expedition to be able to bring together new technology and international and interdisciplinary collaboration to really be able to reveal these stories in a new way. So my pleasure to be here. If you have questions for our team as we're diving, please send them in at nautiluslive.org. If you're watching over on YouTube, hop on over to Nautilus Live for a richer experience where you'll get some live data displays, bios of the team, lots of highlight videos and context from our expeditions as they're going on. We'll see if we can pass it up here to the front row, maybe to the video team.
Hey, this is Dave Robertson. I'm the lead video engineer on this, and we are troubleshooting some audio issues, and so I'll pass it on down the line.
Our front row is still getting settled. I'm not sure if they're here on SPL, but we will get them to join us shortly, if not. Daniel, a question a lot back to you. Someone would like to know what a scientist ashore is. Oh, they're busy in the back row. Our Scientists Ashore program is a way that we solicit experts from all over the world to join us on our expeditions. Scientists Ashore sign up to contribute their expertise. In normal missions, that may be anything from biology, geology, chemistry, technology. This time we have an extremely talented group of maritime archaeologists and historians, curators, who are joining us from around the world, lending their experience on each of these vessels and of this extremely important period in time. So if you hear some additional voices, if you're watching on nautiluslive.org, you'll see some shoreside science voices that will be joining us throughout, bringing their expertise in aviation, different aspects of the vessels, different nations, history during the Allied and Empire of Japan period here, and bringing all that here to the live dives. Vehicles now approaching 950 meters deep.
Dave, was there a way in the past that we had NORBIT up for all to view, or for nav at least to view on a separate screen? This is data on SPL. I cannot hear you. Sure, I can try and help figure out what computer that's on. Yep.
For folks looking for dive alerts, you can check those out on Instagram stories and Facebook stories, as well as on Twitter. And you can always check in on Nautilus Live.
Awesome. Just on SPL K2, I don't know if you can hear me too, but whenever NORBIT surveys start, we would just like to know so that I can log the start of a survey. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for flagging that, Leila.
One of the really exciting components of this expedition is the use of the NORBIT sonar, which is a high resolution scanning sonar, which is able to give us ultra detailed views of the ships as we approach. So the first part of this dive will be our goal to scan this entire site of USS Vincennes. That'll help us build our situational awareness, understanding the direction the ship is laying on the seafloor, really get a comprehensive view of the entire site in order to plan our approach for a closer view at the details. As is our first dive, we're getting the team situated here, and we will get those different views available for you as they're unfolding once we get our team settled in here. Thanks for putting the note in about our Grafana database. We are troubleshooting that just now, so know your concerns are heard, and we're working on providing that pathway, getting it back. I can tell you we are at about 950 meters right now, about 50 meters above the seafloor and above the resting place of USS Vincennes.
As we continue here mapping the wreck of the USS Vincent, just a note for our regular viewers that follow along on Nautilus Live on many of our expeditions, there's a few things that distinguish this expedition from other ones. Most importantly is that this expedition is focused exclusively on surveying maritime heritage sites, and we do have a few policies and procedures in place to make sure that the position information of these wrecks is not released publicly. So you'll notice that some of the features on our website have been disabled. We are not broadcasting the position of the ship for our scientists ashore too that have access to our science portal. You'll notice that the map on the science portal is not refreshing, and this is just because we want to make sure that these sacred sites remain in their state in perpetuity.
Just for data logger awareness, are we currently troubleshooting in the front row? Because I know Chris has not yet started the formal survey. Yes. Sweet, hi. Perfect. Sounds good.
Go ahead, pilot. Roger that. Thanks, pilot.
Mm-hmm. Let's put it in set. That would be perfect. Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Put on SPL. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 200 meters. Yeah, we could probably even make this a little bit wider, although it's not really necessary. I mean, I can measure how far it is over there.
So for those who did not hear on SPL, not sure how much that was on SPL, but the wreck has been located in the NORBIT sonar.
Yeah. No, we don't. No, let's just drive ahead and drive over it. That'll give us a pretty good view of what we're looking at.
And front row, whenever you have a chance, if you wouldn't mind going on SPL.
You got it.
Thank you so much. For all of our viewers watching on channel 3, that is going to be a great view for this initial pass as we're exploring over the ship. There you can see the control screen for the NORBIT scanning sonar. Chris Krasnowski here in the room as our lead mapper on the NORBIT is going to be helping guide the ROV team in while we are outside of visual distance from the wreck.
All right, I'm going to push ahead a little bit more. a little bit more tether.
Yeah, Atalanta looks like it's coming along.
There's definitely a current coming at me. Whenever I come off stick, it pushes me back.
Interesting.
Ship still moving?
The ship just stopped.
Just stopped, okay.
Yeah. Atalanta's still going to swing another.
Yeah, it'll swing a little bit
20.
back. It didn't swing quite as far as I thought it would honestly when we were stopped earlier.
Okay,
So.
good to know. Maybe we'll need another bump. I was gonna, Chris, is our goal to get like how far off the side or right above? Or?
I'm gonna do one high pass over the top.
Oh,
that'll
so
be a good. It'll be good data, but it'll also be a good a situational awareness pass for us.
I see.
And then we'll do. I want it off to the port side on both, so we'll do like, you know, step off to one side, leave it on our port, cruise ahead, turn around, leave it on our port side, the other side.
Okay, gotcha. Then I will keep the ship moving across.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to want to just do it down the length of the ship.
This initial pass or?
All of them.
Okay.
I mean, this pass is just, I mean, we haven't officially started the search. We're just getting centered up. I'm leaving the sonar on so we can get some idea what's going on, but.
Gotcha, okay. So we don't necessarily want to come all the way over the ship at this time. We want to kind of just get close and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, while we're waiting for the ship, why don't you go ahead and do a very slow rotation.
You got it.
Like a degree or two a second.
Creeping around.
Yeah.
It's pushing me a little bit. I think we might still want another ship move.
Okay.
Because it's that current is also pushing Atalanta back. I think it's not going to settle.
Bridge nav. Hi, can we have another 20 meter move at bearing 300, please?
How's that looking, Chris?
It's looking good. Yeah, you can start to see the ship coming in and the.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
I'm going to keep that going. Can you just tilt down with me when you...
Yes.
I am translating while it's happening, Chris.
Yeah, that might be nice. Looks like it's cooler. Thank you. Chris, how did you determine the height for this high pass?
It's Herc Ross Proc. This one.
No, keep it the same, please.
Ross Proc.
And you'll want to do it on the control screen. Or sorry, the view screen, not the control screen.
All right, Chris, I'm going to... You want me to keep going, or... I'm translating while it's happening, too, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. This is just kind of a... Just kind of get a sweep on the whole thing. That'll give us an idea of...
Okay.
What we want to do.
Okay, sounds good. We'll finish that, and then I got to go because I'm getting pushed under.
Yeah, you can rotate a little quicker if you want. We're not going to do much with this data other than just...
Understood.
See what's going on.
I'm just going to finish this end and then come back in front of you.
This is really cool. I keep being tempted to take pictures, but it's blue water pictures.
Yeah?
No, I mean on the screen. Awesome.
All right, Chris, I got to come back around.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll probably just stay at this altitude and do the center pass. That'll give us a little bit of, I mean, maybe if we could come down to 50 meters.
Okay. Let me push out and then we'll adjust.
Yeah, but now we'll have a good real-time map. You can use that to get sort of lined up. Maybe if you look at my cursor, maybe over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Chris, how are you picking the altitudes for these passes?
I am looking at the sonar and making sure that we're higher than anything that looks snaggy.
Excellent.
But it's a trade-off between resolution and coverage always. So I want to get as low as I can and still cover what we need without spending a bunch of passes, but...
All right, I'm trying to
So
come
are
back
you
to you.
comfortable if I start the ship moving probably 240, try to get a little more
Yeah,
to the aft of the ship?
don't move it quite yet.
Okay.
I need to get back out in front. I got pushed way under.
Yeah, oh yeah, no worries.
People who are better at reading this than I, are we potentially looking at are we like going to the stern? Is that where?
Yeah, we're going to go, this is the
stern
stern back here, yeah.
I guess something I should have clarified earlier, since we're not actually observing bottom, do we consider this, should we have put in a on bottom for C-Log if we're doing NORBIT stuff? Or?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, we should count this as on bottom,
Okay.
but yeah, in the future, I guess when we first arrive at the 50 meters off bottom, we'll call that on bottom, even though that's not how we typically do it. We'll discuss amongst our teams what we want to do in the future.
Okay, great.
So unique to be able to look out and see so far this tool. So if you're watching
or
now, so if you're watching on channel 1 or 2, definitely recommend
we
clicking
did not,
over to channel 3.
We never reached bottom, so. Who's speaking right now?
Hundred and 147 meters, yeah.
And I think it's about 50 meters tall.
No.
Thanks for checking on that, Johan.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in the back row, can you share a little bit about the dimensions of this ship?
Yeah, so there's 175 meters long, 19 meters wide, and about 50 meters tall.
And Chris, how far out can the sonar see? How far out are we picking up targets?
Ideally about 200 meters, but there's another, but it sort of matters the angle that you look at things. So like if you're looking at things at a really like shallow angle, grazing angle, you won't see it until it's much closer. But if we're like close to the seafloor and looking out, we could probably pick something up 150, 200 meters.
Can you compare that for us just visually? How far are we seeing through the water?
We are really not seeing more than like 5 meters. 5 to, and probably normal conditions, especially when we're on the seafloor.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
Johan, a question for you. Or maybe Chris, do you have, is there a directionality in your display there? Which direction is the ship pointed? That was our big question.
Top down 0. There you go. So this is the north, this is top down north-south view. So yeah, the ship is sort of northeast to southwest.
Yeah, 015, something like that. Wow, amazing.
Can we have ship move 30 meters at bearing 245, please? Thank you.
Chris, what will your next altitude choice be?
Stand by, Megan. Okay, go ahead, Megan, say again.
What is your next altitude choice going to be?
We're probably going to do one at 50 meters down the center, maybe lower. It looks like we're not going to have too much trouble clearing the superstructure. But we'll do one relatively high pass, and then we'll do 2 lower ones, probably closer to 15 or 20 meters down the side, so we can map the side of the ship. It's basically, you have to think about it kind of like shining a light on something, and you want to make sure that every part of the ship was lit up at some point and not occluded in shadow. Yeah.
And viewers at home are wondering what the colors represent.
The colors on here just represent depth. So redder colors are shallower and bluer colors are deeper.
Guess about 25 meters, kind of seems like, if we're 80 up. Pardon?
Chris,
Yeah,
15 meters off bottom.
80 meters. Yeah, we're way high.
Chris,
Yeah,
you
I
want to
think
come down
they're
to
just
50?
asking.
Oh, yeah. Come down to 50.
Okay. So we had we had some trouble getting back out in front on that previous survey. It blew us way to the south. So we'll try to monitor that or put in auto XY or something. But yeah, just so you know. All right, you ready to come down? Okay. Why don't you hold it 660 or so? Does that work? Maybe, or 65 or so? What do you think? No, at 65 altitude for you. And I'll come down to 50.
Chris, at 50 meters resolution, or at 50 meters away, what kind of resolution are you getting in the sonar?
We do normally 30 meters. This
At
time of
50 meters, we're probably going to do something like
Thank you.
25 to 50 centimeters, like in our final product. Ultimately, I'd like to be closer. That's why we're going to do the lower passes. I'd like to get it closer to 25 centimeters or less.
25 centimeters. That's incredible.
No.
Question for our front row, if you're available.
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. We have a viewer from Norway who'd like to know a little bit about the tether. How long is it between Atalanta and Hercules? What do you have to do to keep it from getting tangled in the currents?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the pilots are a little
Yeah, we're going to
preoccupied.
No problem. We can come back to it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All good.
Chris, in what direction are you feeling?
This altitude, it looks pretty great. And you're probably going to want, you guys are probably going to want to set to auto depth at this depth. So we don't want to maintain, we want to maintain the constant depth, not an altitude above the superstructure, so.
Copy. K2, is it possible to orient the viz north up for a second, or do we have like a... Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's about
Yeah, that's useful.
215, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, as they situate, the sonar image that you're looking at on channel 3, if you're watching there,
Ship is still coming southwest.
has that traditional rainbow color pattern where the warmer colors, red, orange, are shallower, descending down to yellow and then into cooler colors, green, blues, green, aqua blue to purple. So what you're seeing are different depths there. And then as we get closer, you'll begin to see that more refined as the resolution increases, as the distance away from the ship decreases.
More sense. Yeah.
You'll start getting that clearer and clearer resolution.
bridge nav. Can we have another 30 meter move at 215, please? Thank you.
Pilot Chris, in what orientation did you say you were feeling the current from?
Pretty much north to south, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit northwest to southeast.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'll see if it changes. It might be tidal or something.
Yeah, in hindsight, we should have been moving north, I think. I got switched up with the orientation, and yeah, that was the shorter distance. I think we're going to start a center pass, a higher up at our current altitude. Yeah, a constant depth pass over the top, and then we'll come to one side, and then I guess come around and across and up. And those will probably be a little lower, I'm guessing.
K2 stepped out, but
Chris will direct
yeah,
us,
I
yeah.
imagine so.
Copy that. Yeah, I think he said auto depth, and then, right. Great.
Yeah. It's very exciting to bring this technology to bear here, to see these platforms, see these sites in a completely different way. We will be approaching for closer mapping passes and then visual passes over Vincennes.
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, I'll probably do another step after this, but
We do anticipate being able to use this technology potentially to find other seafloor targets as well. We're using a combination technology approach here that we have the positions of some of the vessels found by all of the vessels found by Dr. Ballard in the 1990s during his expeditions, and then also those that have been found by other exploration partners over the years, groups like the Vulcan team on RV Octopus and the Inkfish team who've recently been here. There's been nearly 30 years of exploration in the Sound, and yet still over 24 ships that have not been located. This ship is the USS Vincennes, a New Orleans class heavy cruiser that was sunk in the Battle of Savo Island on the night of August 8th. This was the first major sea battle of the Solomon Islands campaign, when there would ultimately be 5 naval engagements here in the Sound. We're so glad to have you all with the live stream. Please keep sending in your questions to us, and we'll get to as many of them as we can and pull in the team here around. Chris, folks are interested in this seafloor, that looks a little like the ship is on a precipice or a lip. Can you tell us a little bit about how the seafloor dives away and what you're seeing there?
No, it's sitting on a very flat seafloor. It's just that we haven't observed out that far yet, so there's just no data there.
Is that an artifact, the darker blue, that it's further away? Is
Say
that what
again?
you're saying? Are you saying that the difference between the darker blue is that it's farther away?
I mean, it's a little bit deeper, but it's definitely not. If I can rotate the view, you can see it's very, very flat. The seafloor.
Yeah, that view is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll help. This is a U.S. ship, Vincent's. Within the sound here, there are also Japanese vessels and the Australian ship hhmmss Canberra. All in all, over 100 vessels sunk in this in these naval engagements and throughout this period, and nearly 1,500 airplanes as well. So just a tremendous density and a tremendous amount of sacrifice here in these waters. Hey, front row, is it a good time to come back to that question? Chris or Sarah? Oh, yeah. Here.
Oh, you're muted.
Hi there. Do I have you
Hey.
now?
Hey, Megan.
Awesome.
Sorry, I did not hear the initial question.
No problem. Great to have you up here. The question was about the distance of tether between Hercules and Atalanta, and the question is it difficult in the current to keep it untangled, or what do you do to avoid that?
Yeah. It can be tricky. Yeah, so what we just saw was we got pushed off. We were doing a survey over the wreck, and the current pushed us to the south, and it stretched us out fully on the tether to the south, and then to get back out in front of Atalanta, we had to really push against that current, so you can imagine it was even harder to get back out in front. So yeah, it was tricky right there. We're going to try to avoid that again, but now we know how strong the current is, and we're prepared for it.
What kind of strengths are you seeing on the current?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, what kind of speed or strength on the current are you seeing?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's pretty significant. It took me out pretty quickly, so I don't know, something half knot maybe, something like that. We were also we were doing a nice slow survey, and we didn't want to break that off, so hopefully it either dies down, or at least we know what it is now, so we can adjust as necessary. That's actually why we brought Atalanta's heading around to the north. So now we're both kind of into it. So the tether's out behind us now, so we are better situated.
And how long is that tether?
Oh, I'm sorry, I must not have been on. It's approximately 30 meters between Atalanta and Herc.
Thanks, Sarah. And we missed y'all in intros earlier. Chris, Sarah, Johan, do you want to give us a quick intro of who you are and how long you've been doing this and what brought you to be part of this expedition?
Johan first.
Sure, I'll go first. Hey everyone, my name is Johan Becker. I'm the navigator on this 8 to 12 watch. This is my 3rd year, 5th cruise on the job, and yeah, I got into this through my PhD advisor, who was a former Herc pilot and Herc lead, and yeah, he talked very fondly about the ship and hooked me up.
And currently sitting pilot, and pilot for this watch. My name is Chris Ritter. This is my 2nd Nautilus cruise, and but I do have a fair number of dives on a similar 2-body ROV system. So yeah, really excited about this cruise and excited to be here.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Surgeon. I am the co-pilot today, and this is my 5th cruise, Nautilus.
How is that possible, Sarah? I thought it was so many more.
I know
than
everyone
that.
thinks I've been here so much. It's because they've been spread out the last couple of years. No, my first one was the Kingman Palmyra
Oh my goodness.
in 2023. So yeah, excited, but this is the first time with any sort of like shipwrecks or anything, and I'm gonna try and keep my squeals to a minimum.
Yeah, it is so exciting to be here. It's such an honor.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be pretty safe. We're still conservatively high. We'll do lower passes down the sides, but there's less chance of hitting something.
Chris Spears want to know, where is the NORBIT mounted? Is it on Atalanta? Is it on Hercules? Where is it at?
It is. I can do my first little party trick here.
Ooh, fantastic. Please watch, if you're watching on
NORBIT
channel 3, you're going to get to see this great explanation.
Right up on the front of the vehicle, right here on the brow bar. So if I turn on the water column, you can, well, it's long range, so it's hard to see, but you can see how it sends this beam down, this big fan, and it detects the seafloor where it finds that, yeah.
Thank you, Chris. That was really, really cool. It's fantastic to have you all with us online. Yeah, from all over the world. It's a really exciting to share this with you. We know we've heard from a few folks all over the world. If you want to give us a shout out where you're watching from, we'd love to share this with you. We know Norway's here, England's here. We have Bill Fallon's teacher with us. It's after midnight in the UK. It's currently about 10 a.m. here in the Solomon Islands. Hello to New Zealand, Norway.
Looks like we're close to position.
Can you back up as far as you can with the tether that you have? Yeah, I don't like to start right on the edge of the wreck, because a lot of times if there's other goodies to look around, you can easily miss them, so. Yeah, you could back to the end of your tether. You don't need to back the ship up any further, but. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and from our scientists, I know there's quite a few folks that are joining us from the U.S. East Coast, where it's currently 7 p.m. on the 4th of July holiday on Friday.
With
we also have quite a few folks in
with
Guam,
the direction of the ship. Put your
in Japan, where it's now Saturday morning. So thank you so much for joining us on a holiday or weekend.
Basically right now.
This is really the beginning of 18 more days of a very exciting exploration that we have on this archaeological and mapping expedition to Iron Bottom Sound, the waters.
So you can kind of look on the, you can look on my screen here.
Weather permitting, we'll be diving daily from here till July 22nd. So many more explorations to come.
Yeah, let's turn a few more degrees to starboard.
Yeah. I think 030 roughly.
I'm getting lots of really nice shout outs from folks that have been history fans for a long time, family members. Incredible to be able to bring you to these places on the seafloor where your family members served and for some give the ultimate sacrifice.
All right, let it sit there for a moment. This is your So the idea with this survey is as smooth as possible, right? So we want to avoid excessive heaving. We want to avoid any heading shifts if possible. But yeah. So you can move speed around. Sometimes we have issues with auto depth heaving, but it looks like it's this plot that I have up on the screen right now is your depth, and it looks fairly stable. So I'm fairly happy with that. Sometimes it'll start heaving as you start moving forward.
Also, I want to take a moment here to
that can be just a little bit hard to filter out. All right, let's step a few meters.
Hold on, we got you and Chris stepping on each other.
I can tell you exactly how many meters. Let's step 10 or 8 meters to starboard. You can also just kind of look on that view and get lined up. Yeah. Whatever's easier for you. If you like to just odometry. Yeah. No. Well, we're ultimately going to want to just have to go. We're going to want to go straight forward if possible. And I'm basically just going to have you kind of manually steer down the center of the ship when you go through. We'll kind of, yeah, straightforward over ground. And you can just like nudge it port and starboard just a little bit. Axes, base, length. Let's do, there you go. There's a 100-meter line for you.
Cool.
There you go.
Nice. Follow the red brick road.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm going to...
Yeah. Just make sure we're all set.
Yeah, get all set because you're going to lose your view here as I reset the survey. So, yeah, we'll just get it.
All right.
And, yeah.
Chris, for the ship, do you like
Johan,
bumping the ship along, or do you want like a line tracking at just like...
Yeah, I would just keep the ship moving.
Okay.
Stopping and starting is going to be bad.
Wonderful. Okay.
All right, and once you get lined up there, Chris, could you tell me your vehicle heading right now? Okay. Yeah, so Johan, why don't you go ahead and put a point a couple 100 meters ahead on HiPAC or on NavG 32 degrees from Hercules' current location, and that'll give you a target to kind of head for on there. Yeah. Yeah, just put like end survey or something on there. We might go further than that, but that'll at least give us something to...
Yeah, I think we will.
That'll give us something to head for. Okay, I am going to officially restart the survey. You're gonna lose your view of the ship here. So, but I think we're pretty well set up.
Okay.
All right, so.
Yeah, I want to do a DVL reset, I think, before we get going too. Great.
All right. Ding. We are moving. Or we are recording. We are ready to
bridge nav.
Okay.
Can we have a ship move 100 meters at bearing 032, please?
I'm just going to creep ahead a little bit. Got a little bit of tether. Hopefully the ship
032. All right, thank you.
Would you like a start survey point in nav? Or?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, you could put a start survey in there, Johan.
Copy.
A few more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The heading is kind of over the place.
The heading is just wandering. I'm in auto head. I haven't touched it.
It was 32.
Yeah.
Is the set point?
Set point is...
The set point's moving.
Set point's moving.
Huh.
Okay, you might have to do this manually because we can't have that.
Okay. Auto head is out.
Yeah.
I could try it again. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't want
Now
to
you
stay.
now you get centered back up on the wreck too. Step to port a bit. You can see, this is your track. You can see how you kind of...
Yeah, I see it. All right, I'm coming port. Can you... Why is my heading changing so much? Is the tether pulling me? That's not me, so it's the tether. Chris, I think we need to get set up again and get Atalanta right,
Okay, that's fair.
in the right spot.
Yep.
Because otherwise it's just going to pull the tether.
Yep.
I'll tell the bridge to stop.
Yeah.
Too. Bridge nav, can we hold position, please? Thank you.
Nah, I think we just need to get Atalanta just directly in line with what the ship move is going to do, and then just go down it. Because otherwise,
Okay.
if I try to yeah, it's just not going to work. All right, sorry, Chris. We'll set up again.
Okay.
As you get reset up, Leela, can you tell us, or anyone else who wants to comment in, what are we seeing that's the white fuzzies floating through the water?
Yeah, I haven't been looking closely at the bigger ones, but these smaller fuzzies are probably marine snow. So just, an assortment of living debris or formerly living debris floating down from the surface ocean.
This is where we
some of
tried to
it
start
may be
before.
still alive,
So
plankton
have
or small
Atalanta
invertebrates,
come
but
back behind
a lot of
Yeah,
it
or
would be
over here maybe.
surface
'Cause I
productivity
think,
and organic matter just drifting down to the
I
bottom
think
of the ocean.
Atalanta was...
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah, I can... well, you have the survey start point marked on HiPAC.
And just for that marine snow lover, sometimes these wrecks serve as habitat, have a second life as a substrate, as a surface for organisms to colonize. And the types of organisms like sponges and corals that would be living on that wreck on the seafloor would be eating all of this snow. So that's what they filter or grab out of the water column.